Hey everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial video. In today's video, we're going to cover how you can create a very seamless onboarding process for your Web3 application. In here, we're going to show you how you can onboard users and abstract away a lot of the Web3 complexities that come with creating a wallet and connecting a user to your Web3 app. And to accomplish this, we're going to be using a couple things from thirdweb, which include in-app wallets, which is going to allow us to generate a wallet for a user using things like social logins, email, phone number, or passkeys. And we're going to also use smart wallets, which is going to allow us to utilize account abstraction to connect our users and create them a smart contract wallet to connect to our application. So an overview of what we're going to cover in this video, we're going to first demo out the onboarding flow that we just mentioned, which is in-app wallets with account abstraction, show you how seamless and smooth that experience can be, and then we'll show you how to easily implement this quickly into your Web3 application. So with that being said, let's jump on the computer here and let's take a look at this seamless Web3 onboarding flow. So right over here, we have this demo, which is going to demo in-app wallet with account abstraction. And it's going to be using in-app wallets and smart wallets from thirdweb. Now, why in-app wallet with smart wallet? Before we dive into demoing this out, let's take a look at in-app wallets and account abstraction separately. So we take a look at in-app wallets. Essentially, in-app wallets are going to allow us to create a wallet for our user, and they can then authenticate using something like a social login, an email, phone number, a passkey. And this is great because now we can onboard users and generate them wallets with familiar authentication methods. Maybe they aren't familiar with Web3, but they can sign in with things like their Google or their email. This is also going to allow users to not have to install any additional browser extensions or any other applications that they may need to with another type of wallet. And overall, this is going to reduce the friction for non-crypto native users. So if we look here, we have the sign in button, and an in-app wallet is going to allow us to sign in with some things like our social logins here, email. We can also sign with a passkey. We even have the option to continue as a guest, which means a user will just be generated a wallet, and they can then connect and link other accounts or wallets to that once they start using your application. But we can use something like a passkey here, and I'm just going to enter in my passcode here. Sign in with a passkey that is then authenticated, and I am then generated a wallet right over here. And that's in-app wallet. Now, the pain points of an in-app wallet by itself is a user still needs to fund their wallet to pay for gas in order to interact with blockchain. And because we just generated them a new wallet with our in-app wallets here, they're not going to have any funds in this wallet. So they're not going to be able to execute anything on chain because they won't be able to pay for the gas. You can still have a user, send funds over, find some other on-ramping method. We do have some options with thirdweb, like thirdweb pay, but a user still has to go through those extra steps to start using your application. So that's in-app wallets. Now let's take a look at just account abstraction by itself. So we look at just account abstraction. Account abstraction, we use our smart wallets through thirdweb, and we can improve user experiences by removing gas from the transactions. Essentially, we can pay for the gas or sponsor the gas on behalf of the user using something like a paymaster. We can also batch multiple transactions together. And you also get the ability to use something called session keys, which we'll go over in another video. But you do get the ability to give permissions to another wallet or key to sign on behalf of our smart wallet. Now, some of the pain points here is account abstraction by itself. You still need a personal wallet of some sort in order to generate the smart contract wallet or the smart wallet. And that wallet acts as like the admin or personal wallet to the smart wallet. Now, if I hit connect here, you can see I can connect something like my MetaMask wallet. Now, this isn't going to connect my MetaMask wallet. It's actually going to generate me a smart contract wallet called a smart wallet. And in here, we now have that new wallet connected, and we can now interact with the blockchain. Now, the great thing about this is, like I said, we can sponsor gas on behalf of the users, meaning that we don't have to make a user fund their wallet in order to interact with the blockchain. They can just execute transactions here, just like this. Now, they will get a pop-up from their wallet having to confirm that transaction and approve it. So we can hit confirm here, and that will then execute the transaction on chain. Again, the wallet doesn't need to pay for gas or anything because we're covering all of that utilizing a paymaster through ERC 4337 or account abstraction. And there you go. We incremented our counter here, and now it's at 15. So again, we don't have to pay for gas. We still have to sign some pop-ups, interact with our wallet, and we still need a wallet in order to even generate this account abstraction or smart wallet. So let's sign out of here. So Again, we looked at in-app wallets, right? Great because we can now onboard users with familiar social logins, email, phone number, things like that. But they still need to fund their wallet in order to pay for gas for transactions. Then we have account abstraction where we still need to connect something like a MetaMask wallet or some type of wallet to be the personal wallet of the smart wallet. But we can handle gas or sponsor gas with something like a paymaster. So what if we then combine those two options together and create a sign-in flow with in-app wallets and account abstraction? Now a user can get the best of both worlds, sign in with a familiar authentication method like social login or email, and then get the benefits of sponsoring their gas through a paymaster, not having to pay for gas on chain. So what does this look like altogether? So that's where we're going to build this in-app wallet with account abstraction or smart wallet flow here. So we can have a button that says sign in. A user is then presented with social logins and things that they are familiar with. We're going to use our passkey here. That will then act as the personal or admin wallet to a smart wallet. And we are then generated that smart wallet here. That smart wallet can have sponsored gas enabled through a paymaster. And what we can end up doing is we can now end up interacting with the blockchain without having to pay for gas. And the benefits of having in-app wallets as well is we're not going to get the pop-ups to confirm transactions and everything. So now I can interact with the same smart contract here, hit increment. I'm going to get no pop-ups, not have to pay for any gas, and I can still execute on-chain transactions here. So give this a moment to go through. And there you go. We've incremented our counter here and now at 16. So nowhere through this process is a user ever confronted with a Web3 user experience. You know, they sign in with something that they're familiar with. They can execute transactions, not have to sign pop-ups, not have to pay for gas or fund a wallet. And you can create, again, these really seamless user experiences with the combination of in-app wallets and smart wallets. And with thirdweb, this is actually super easy and quick to implement into your Web3 applications. And that's what we're going to be covering in today's video. So I'm going to open up my terminal here and we're going to create a new project. And I'm going to show you how quickly and easy it is to implement this into your Web3 application. So in my terminal here, I'm going to create a new Next project. I'm just going to run npx create next app, and I'm just going to call this in-app wallet, in-app AA. So in-app account abstraction here. And we're going to use TypeScript, say yes to ESLint, Tailwind, source directory, app router, and we're not going to customize the import alias here. We'll create our new Next.js project here. Once that is done, we'll change into our project. And let me just clear this to the top. So we're going to have to install thirdweb in our project here. And you can do this using npm. You can use this using pnpm. You can use yarn, or you can use bun as well. I'm going to be using bun here. So I'm going to run bun install thirdweb. Once we have thirdweb installed, I'm just going to open this up in my code editor. I'm going to be using cursor here. And the first thing we're going to do here is get our application set up with the thirdweb SDK. So I'm going to open up my source folder here. And within the app folder, we're going to head over to the layout.tsx page. And what we need to do is wrap our application here with the thirdweb provider. So I'm just going to come here and we're going to wrap this here with the thirdweb provider. Take this here, wrap that around, and then I'm going to come up to the top here and import the thirdweb provider from thirdweb/React. And this is going to allow us to now start using the thirdweb SDK. So I'm going to open up my terminal here. Let's run our project here. I'm just going to do bun run dev, run npm run dev as well. And we should be able to look at our project, which should just show us the Next.js template. There we go. We have our Next.js template right over here. So now we're going to build out our application here. We're going to create a button that allows us to connect a user via in-app with Smart Wallet. And I'm going to come here back to our code editor. I'm just going to come to the page.tsx file. And I'm going to remove everything in here. This is just the templated code that you get when you create a new Next project. So I'm just going to select all of this here. Delete that and just give some empty div tags here. And before we start building out our connect button and our page here, we need to set up something called our client. So coming back to my files here in the app folder, I'm going to create a new file. And I'm going to call this the client.ts file. And if you come on over to thirdweb's docs, you get this getting started section here. We'll link this down in the description below. But you can come here, you can see we already wrapped our application with the thirdweb provider. The next thing we need to do is create a thirdweb client. So we're going to create this client.ts file, which we already did. And we're going to copy this code snippet right over here. Come back in here, paste that in. And I'm just going to change this up a little bit. I'm just going to create a variable here called client ID, which is going to reference a environment variable that we're going to store. And then the client ID here, we'll just say client ID as a string. So I'm going to next open up my files here. And in the root of everything, I'm going to create a new file called .env.local. And I'm going to copy this variable name called next public thirdweb client ID. And this is where we're going to store our client ID for thirdweb. Now, to get this client ID, we just need to come to thirdweb's dashboard. I'm going to come over to the dashboard here. Once you sign in with a wallet, you can come over to settings and you're going to see all your API keys here. You can hit create API key, and we're going to name this our in-app AA demo. You can put in your whitelisted domains and everything for your API keys. And if you want to see a more detailed video on how to create this, we'll drop a link down in the description below as well. For this tutorial, I'm just going to allow all domains just for the ease of use here. And I'm going to hit create. I'm going to get a little warning here. I'm just going to hit proceed. And it's going to give you your client ID along with a secret key. Now, you're going to get a warning here about not sharing or exposing your secret key, and that your secret key cannot be recovered. So you lose your secret key, you just have to regenerate a new client ID secret key pairing. So it's just letting you know, hey, store this safely on the side. I'm going to copy that client ID. We're going to check off that we read the message, and we're going to hit complete. So I'm going to come back to my application, and in that .env.local file under the environment variable for our client ID, I'm going to paste in my client ID here. I can just close that out. So again, we're going to get our client ID from that .env file or environment variable. It's going to store it in this client ID, and that's what we provide here for creating a thirdweb client. And that thirdweb client is going to allow us to start interacting with the Connect SDK. So let's come back to this page.tsx file. And in this empty div here, I'm going to create a UI component from thirdweb called the ConnectButton. So we can just import this. I'm going to hit command period on my computer here and add the import from thirdweb React. Now you're going to see here that we need to provide it the property client. So we're going to come in here, add the client, and we're going to provide a client from the client variable from our .client.ts. So we come here, we're exporting this client variable here, and we're using it here in our connect button. So if we save that and come back to our app, you're going to see that we have a connect button here. Now I'm just going to center this really quick. I'm going to use cursor here to give me the tailwind CSS styling to center this. There we go. Now we have a connect button right over here. So this is the default connect button that you get out of the box with thirdweb. You add the connect button UI component, you give it a client ID. You get this here, which is going to give you some in-app wallet options along with being able to connect to any Web3 wallet. And we support over 350 wallets here. So this is the default button. This is what it looks like. We're going to configure it just a bit here so that we can only display in-app wallets and then connect via account abstraction. So in our connect button here, we can add a few different properties here. So we're going to say wallets here, and this is where we can configure the wallets that we want to show within our modal when it pops up once the button's clicked. We're going to have to provide it an array of those wallets we want to display. And in this one, we're just going to show the in-app wallets. So we're going to import in-app wallets here from thirdweb/wallets. And actually, it's in-app wallet, sorry, not plural. In-app wallet. And if we show just in-app wallet here, we can leave it just like this. And if we come back to the pass directly to a client. Oh, so if we come back here, sorry, we're going to have to add use client at the top of our page here. And then we'll come back and refresh this. So you can see now, if I add just in-app wallet, it's only going to show us these in-app wallet options. And these are the default in-app wallet options that you get here: Google, Apple, Facebook, email, phone number, and passkey. If we come back to the in-app wallet, we can configure this a bit more by changing the auth methods required here. And then we can give it the options and provided an array of different options of in-app wallets that we want to allow. So you can see we have a list of a bunch of different ones here. We can do things from like Coinbase. We can do Discord. We also have something like Farcaster. And you can do email. We got passkey, and you can even do guest, which will just generate a wallet for the user. They don't need to authenticate or anything, and then they can link accounts to that later on. So again, you can choose the options and everything of in-app wallets that you want a user to be able to select from. So now if I come back here and I hit connect, you're going to see those options here are what are displayed as the options that I can create a wallet with. Now I can create a passkey here, and let's sign in here. So we'll just create a passkey here. What that will do is generate us an in-app wallet. And just like that, we've implemented in-app wallets, allowing users to connect to your application with social logins, email, passkeys, all those different options that we mentioned before. You can see here I have a wallet that ends in FEA5, and that is the wallet that was generated using my passkey here. But again, this is a part of the seamless solution that we're talking about, because I still need to fund this in-app wallet if I want to be able to interact with the blockchain. So I'm going to disconnect my wallet here. Now, how do we add and implement account abstraction on top of this in-app wallet? And it's actually really easy with thirdweb and the Connect wallet button here. So outside of the wallets here, we're going to add the property for account abstraction. And account abstraction, all we need to do is set chain, which we can set the chain that we want account abstraction to be available on. In this case, we're going to say Sepolia, and we can actually import Sepolia here from thirdweb chains. And then we need to specify if we want to sponsor gas or not. So if we set this to true, like I said earlier, this is going to allow us to use a paymaster to pay for the gas for the user. With thirdweb, that paymaster and everything is already set up for you. So essentially, you're going to get billed for the gas that your users use to your application, and you'll just pay that through your billing on the dashboard. If you set this to false, you're still going to get the ability to use smart wallets, but a user then has to still pay for gas out of their smart wallet itself. But for this, we're going to set to true. Just like that, that is actually how easy and simple it is to add the ability to create smart wallets and account abstraction using thirdweb and the Connect button. By default, we already have an account factory contract that is going to deploy your smart contract wallets. It's a universal one across all chains, all EVM compatible chains. And if you wanted to, you still have the ability to override and add your own factory contract here. And you just provided your factory contract address, but you're free to use the universal one that thirdweb has implemented here for your applications. So all you need to do is just add the account abstraction prop here and provide it the chain and if you want to sponsor gas or not. And with that, we'll come back to our app here and we hit connect. And if I connect with a passkey, it'll generate me a wallet, but connect a smart account here. And you can see this is a totally different account. The wallet address is 5CA1. It's on Sepolia, and it is a smart account right over here. And because we have sponsored gas turned on, again, a user isn't going to have to pay for gas when interacting and having to execute transactions on chain. So coming back here, if we look with just a few lines of code here, implementing the ConnectButton UI component from thirdweb, providing it the wallet options of in-app wallet and selecting our authentication options we want for that in-app wallet, and just adding account abstraction as easily as selecting the chain we want it on, along with if we want to sponsor gas or not. We're able to implement this very seamless onboarding flow where a user can, again, sign in with something they're familiar with, like a social login, email, or passkey. Be generated a wallet, have gas sponsorship through a paymaster, and a user doesn't need to interact and see all of the Web3 complexities that are normally pain points for people when onboarding them to Web3 applications. And there you have it. You can now easily and quickly implement things like a combination of in-app wallets and smart wallets to your Web3 application allowing you to build a super seamless Web3 experience onboarding users to your application. Nowhere through the flow does a user need to know that they're creating a wallet or using the blockchain, because we're able to abstract away all of those complexities using these tools. So I hope you folks enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on more tutorials like this. If you need references to any of the things mentioned in this video, we'll drop links down in the description below, along with a link to our support team where you can open up a support ticket, ask any questions, and we'll be happy to help you out. Again, I hope you folks enjoyed this video. Can't wait to see what you implement this into and what Web3 applications you create to onboard the next million users into this space. But until next time, everyone, see ya.